Hello everyone, it is August 1st, 2026, and we are back with our monthly analysis video. This is for July 2026. It is that time to go over our monthly statistics. So this was undoubtedly a very tough month. Lots of really hard words this month, for sure. So we're going to go over the details, but as usual, before we go over those details, we're going to go over the guess distributions for both me and Squirtle. So here we go. For me, 0 fails, 3 sixes, 5 fives, 13 fours, 10 threes, and 0 1s, 0 2s. I had no 2s at all this month. For Squirtle, 0 fails, 2 sixes, 4 fives, 9 fours, 14 threes, 2 2s, and then 0 1s. So Squirrel did get 2 2s and 14 threes. So yeah, so that is that. So let's go over our stuff here in detail. So as usual, as you guys probably know by now, the orange rows means a word that's not on the original answer list, and yellow means a repeated answer. So we did end up only having 3 repeated answers this month instead of 4, which was kind of surprising. The trend of having a repeated answer on the 30th of a month, when there are 31 days in that month, continues right down there. That's an interesting word too, with the word called flume. So we also had an interesting one there. So yeah, so demur, we started off with a hard starting word and a normal mode, just like the beginning of June on June 1st. And then we had maven. That was a tough word, but still managed to get that in 4 guesses. So that was pretty good. Baton here, that was our first repeat answer. So we had a reused answer, we had a non-original answer list word and a reused answer 2 days in a row. Then we had pizza, that was pretty lucky with the PHPHT. Swami, tough word. Toddy, another old-fashioned tough word. Sling was for 1 minute speed run. Random, weird. Oh, I forgot to put the word. I should put that. Random, weird word, hard mode with a word that I don't want to pronounce. We got demon in 3, very lucky there. Amend and 4 guesses from Kayak, pretty good. Canal took 5. Unfortunately, went with a word that's not in the original answer. That has already been an answer. I mean, we can't have repeated answers, but still. Avian was rough. I had a really lucky start with the 2 yellow A's, but I could not capitalize on that at all because, well, obviously I didn't even think about avian. Clack, 4 guesses. That was our 1600th Wordle of the Day episode. Pretty good. Stout was a surprise, as well as Flume. Were both surprising repeated answers. Steak with Xylil, 3 guesses. That was a good one. This one tripped up a lot of us with, it's pronounced Shaw, not Pashaw. It is actually, I mean, it's an interjection. I feel like it should be Pashaw, but looked it up. It's supposed to be pronounced just Shaw, apparently. And then we had a Butte 4, Legal in 4, Booth in 4, a bunch of 4s. Churn was a very quick 3 guesser. Diver was a tough one. And we had a hard starting word. Thankfully, it was still a 5 guesser. Then we had another word not on the original answer list called shill. Luckily, I had the suspicion that it might be a word, did an eval, and I was able to thankfully survive. We both took 6 guesses, as you can see, and I failed that Roman numerals challenge. That was a rough challenge to get for that word. It's a hard word, plus it has 2 L's and an I. That's 3 Roman numerals right there. That's rough. Slate, normally, Lorry, kind of tricky, another British word. Orbit, these I highlighted in green because they were 3 very quick 3 guessers in a row. So that was good. And then Aloha broke, I mean, it was still fast, but it broke the streak of the 3s. Well, I mean, it's a speed run, plus Aloha, tricky word to get in 3 guesses. Luckily, I do know that word. I had predicted that it's probably on the extended answer list, and there you go, we had it. Xylil twice challenge, we got a grape. Finally, we had a grape. Finally, that answer I've been waiting for a long time. Despite starting with Silo twice, still 5 guesses, which is really good. And it's an RE trap. Poser and ER trap, 4 guesses. That was pretty good. Sonar 3 was another very fast 3. Purse as well down here. And then Valve. Ooh, Valve was a tricky one. Thank God I lucked out of that one. 4 guesses there. And then the Wordle bot with a third Wordle bot of the month with Flume. Another surprising repeated answer. I did not think that would be repeated. I didn't even realize that was a word. I forgot that was a word. So I went with some other word with an LE, which is absolutely not in the original answer list. Flume actually is in the original answer list. That kind of surprised me. Plus, it had already been an answer apparently. So that was a pretty evil repeated answer to use. But yeah. Alright, so now we take a look at the scores, and as you can see here, of course Squirtle beat me. Usually that is what happens for these challenge because I'm full of handicaps. Last month was super close though. So 125 for me, 114 for Squirtle, 11 difference, huge difference. I had a 4.03 average, so last month I was 1 point short. I was 1 point less from being a 4.0 average, so I had like a 3.97 or something. This time I'm 1 point higher than a 4.0 average. If I had a 124, it would have been a 4.0 average. So that's a little unfortunate, but oh well. 4.03 average instead for me, 3.68 for Squirtle. Median 4 for me, a 3 for Squirtle is really good. 0.93 standard deviation for me, 0.99 for, actually 0.996, which actually rounds up to 1.0 standard deviation for Squirtle. And then first quartile, both of us 3. I actually had a third quartile of 5 this time. That's kind of rare for me, I know, but it did happen. I did get a few 5s. I had 5 5s and 3 6s. That's 8 5s and 6s right there. So yikes. But like I said, I had handicaps, not blaming myself. Squirtle had a third quartile of 4. IQR 2 for me, 1 for Squirtle. And mode for Squirtle was actually a 3 this time. Yeah, because it was 14 3s. Well, I actually still had double-digit number of 3s. I had 10 of them this month, which is honestly still really good despite my handicap. So I'm not complaining. So that was, again, so like January and February, we had 2 months of the wheel, and here we had another 2 months with June and July. From August, because I'm going to be on vacation, I'm going to be getting into college mode. We're not going to have the wheel for a very long time now. The wheel is probably, might be permanently discontinued. I'm not sure how life in college is going to be. I'm not sure how I'm going to record Wordle videos, especially because I think I'm going to be in a quad, dorming in a quad, so that's going to be pretty rough. So I might have to figure out, I might have to be recording when the other 3 are like somewhere, I don't even know, but details for those will come later. I don't know what's going to happen actually, so I'll have to be pre-recording a bunch of those videos in advance and then figuring it out and telling you guys how the world schedule is going to work. Now we only have 2 months left, especially under 2 months even, so yeah, anyway, so that is it for this analysis video. If you have any questions or comments, please put those below. Remember to let me know how your stats are, if you guys keep track. I know some of you guys do. You got inspired from me, which is good. I like to hear it. And as always, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.